And welcome in to the next edition of NBC Live here in Hutchinson, Kansas at Hobart Detter Field. Game 7 is in the books. It's technically the first game of the tournament, but we're going to go off the games on the bracket to make your life a little bit easier. So we have finished Game 7 of the tournament. Lone Star victorious over Great Bend, 7-5. Your initial reactions?
Lone Star, it was a really tough game, tight game until the 5th inning. Then Lone Star pulled away. You thought Great Bend had that chance to come back, and they did. They just couldn't get enough of it, and unfortunately for the Batcats, they head to the loser side of the bracket.
Yeah, Great Bend finds 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Doesn't end up being enough. Nathan Madrano, the player of the game, sponsored by Pinnacle Realty. He went 7 full innings, had 5 strikeouts, 0 walks, 1 run. It was unearned off an error and only allowed 4 hits. Not a bad day in the office for Nathan.
Not a bad day at all. And as soon as he gets pulled, that's when Great Bend took advantage. So great job there.
So we'll flip the page from the Lone Star Great Bend game and get you set for the next game in our tournament, which is actually on the schedule, I believe, is Game 5.
Right.
Game 5 on your bracket if you're keeping score from home. And that's going to be between the Cheney Diamond Dogs, who will be the away team, and the Boulder Collegians. We'll get you set for those two teams. First, we'll introduce you to the Boulder Collegians. They won the 2021 Mile High Collegiate Baseball League.
Good for them.
If you want to know a little bit more about them, the Colorado Cyclones have come to a couple NBC World Series.
Right.
They're usually out of that league. This is their representative this year. They went 23-3. Not a bad stint for them. The team was enacted in 1964, and in the next 16 years, they won 4 NBC World Series titles.
That is so cool.
So this is a team that knows their way around the NBC World Series, knows how to win one, and could be a team to maybe think about going down the stretch as a potential contender.
It's an underdog. You haven't heard about the Boulder Collegians in a while. You know, they've kind of slipped right through. So it'll be really interesting to see what they do coming into this, and they place a tough Diamond Dogs team.
Just in case you need to know a former Boulder Collegian, Tony Gwynn, one of their many graduates, might know him. One of the things to note about the Mile High Collegiate Baseball League, though, only 3 of their 9 teams finished above 500 this year. If you want to be an analytics person who looks at that, might be something you're interested in. The guy to watch, John Gadzar, he finished 3rd in average in the league and 2nd in RBIs. If there's going to be a guy to get the offense started, it's going to be John.
And one thing you have to do coming to the NBC World Series, you have to wipe that Clayton Sleen. You know, you have to realize this is a chance to win an NBC World Championship here. So you got to make sure that when you're coming here, it doesn't matter how your league was. It's only how you play coming here at this World Series.
Now flipping the page to the Cheney Diamond Dogs. They come in with a 28-18 record. If you know much about the NBC World Series in the last couple of years, the Cheney Diamond Dogs are always a team to worry about. This year, they're not as much in that conversation as they have been in the past. They finished 4th in the Sunflower Collegiate League, just behind the Great Bend Batcats that we just saw. So they're a team that we usually expect a lot from, and maybe we should approach this World Series with a little lower expectations because they're not the same team that Pat Hahn usually brings to the NBC World Series.
I think you said it great. The past few years they've been here, right? The past few years they've been top-notch. Well, those players eventually are old enough where they don't play baseball anymore. They move up to the MLB. So a younger team this year for the Diamond Dogs, which is okay this year. Pat's going to push them this year, and hopefully they have quite a run. They usually do. But these guys are the future of the NBC World Series.
If you want more analytics, in the Sunflower Collegiate League, only 2 teams did not finish with a record over 500.
Right.
This league was competitive all year long, and that's why we have so many representatives from them.
It always is.
A couple of the guys to keep an eye on their record is going to be Lenny Ashby, who
Great
finished
player.
7th in the league in average with 362, and Gavin Rogers, who finished 6th with a 358. These 2 guys know how to swing the bat. Lenny Ashby actually finished 2nd in the league with 40 RBIs. They've got a lot of firepower on this roster, and definitely not a team to ignore yet.
No, they're not, and that's one thing that's great. You know, Cheney isn't out of this year. Like we said, they're young, but this is going to be a great game. I'm really excited to watch this game.
Up on the mound, Dakota Rod's the guy to look at.
Dakota Rod, my God. He actually played for the Mulvane Patriots and moved over to the Cheney Diamond Dogs, so I've gotten to see a lot of Dakota. I like to call him Hot Rod. Hot Rod is a great pitcher.
Well, he finished with the 5th best ERA in the Sunflower Collegiate League, a 2.51. Not too shabby for a guy that you're hoping can lead you through some of these games. And we're not going to see him today, at least to start, but keep your eye on the bullpen. He might be a guy that's needed for Pat Hahn's squad later in the game.
I agree.
Well, we'll launch into the starting lineups now for you. First, for the visiting Cheney Diamond Dogs. Leading off is Trent Maloney. He'll play second base. Alex Epp is the second one up, and he'll be the third baseman. The shortstop, Andrew Broutman, wears number 6, and he'll bat third. Lenny Ashby, the designated hitter, wears 99. Then the 4 slot. In the 5 slot, Gavin Rogers. He's the first baseman, wears number 44. Matt Bong, he is going to be the catcher, wears number 21 in the 6th spot. In the 7th spot, Jackson Sering, he'll be the center fielder, and he'll wear number 36. Ryan Koval is the right fielder, wears 15, being the 8 hole, and rounding it out, Ed Scott, the left fielder, wearing number 3. On the mound is going to be Chandler Arnold. He'll wear number 10.
Some interesting things about Cheney's lineups. First of all, Andrew Brotman, the shortstop today for the Diamond Dogs, played for the Sunflower Collegiate League, but not for the Cheney Diamond Dogs. Actually played for the Newton Rebels this year. So for the NBC, made that transition over to Cheney so he could do a good job and continue to push.
And it's been something we've seen a lot of in these rosters is players playing for a certain team to start the year, and that's not the team they come to the NBC World Series with. As well as a couple of guys who start the year with a team and play all summer, but then don't travel with the team to the series. There's quite a few occasions of that as well. So.
Exactly, and that's what I also love. The Sunflower Collegiate League pushes to make sure they have a good team. This year there's so many teams from the Sunflower Collegiate League, but we'll see what they do coming forward.
So the next starting lineup for the Boulder Collegians, they'll be the home team in this afternoon's matchup. Ryan Vogel will be in center field, wear number 1 in the 1 slot. Batting second, Landon Gable, the designated hitter, wearing number 8. Batting third, John Gadzar, the guy to watch. He's going to be the shortstop, wears number 13. In the 4 slot, Jake Miller, number 12, and he will be the first baseman. The third baseman, Alex Ackerman, will wear number 22 and bat 5th. Batting 6, Sean D., wearing number 6, and he will be the left fielder. The catcher is Garrett Fisher, wearing number 5. He'll be in the 7th slot. In the 8th slot, A.J. Roscoe, he'll wear number 9, and he'll play right field. And the second baseman, Jackson Chatterson, will wear number 4, bat 9th. On the mound, number 19, Zeke Wood. Obviously, a Boulder Collegians team that we don't know a ton about because obviously, first, we don't get to see him very often.
Right.
Second, it's a league that, based on records, you can't tell too much about them. I think the first couple innings are going to be a really awesome opportunity for this team to prove themselves and to put themselves on the main stage right away.
Something tells me I'm gonna do a bold statement here. I think the Collegians are actually going to pull out and win this game today. I think they're kind of under the radar, one of those teams that not a lot of people know about, so it should be interesting to see what they do. I think they beat Cheney today, but Cheney will battle real hard in that losing bracket.
I wouldn't expect it to be any different than this game we just had where maybe one team surges ahead, but it's going down to the 9th inning, and both teams are going to be in it.
And that's the NBC World Series every game. Close, entertaining, and awesome baseball.
So if you have your bracket in front of you, we'll run down that real quick. In the game 7 slot, Lone Star defeated Great Bend. That sends Great Bend to the losers bracket, where they await the loser of the Seattle Studs 3-1-6 Elite matchup, which will take place at 8:30 tonight.
That's going to be a great game.
As for our game coming up, Cheney and Boulder are in the game 5 slot. The winner will go on to Friday's game 15, where they'll face the winner of Liberal and Derby, while the loser will go down and await the loser of the Liberal Derby game that will take place this afternoon at 6 p.m.
Right.
Any closing thoughts, any keys to the game you think that one team needs over the other in order to stick this one out?
Cheney's got to play Cheney baseball, really be aggressive, and I think Boulder, to stay in this game, has to do well, has to start off and just keep that ball rolling the whole time.
Mostly doubles in the last game. Not a lot of big power hitting triple baggers or home runs, and the doubles have not been doubles by too much.
Right.
It seems like maybe the hot days having something to do with it. The wind is blowing in from the outfield, so it's almost like you've got to be able to play small ball in this tournament.
Exactly, and small ball's a big thing in collegiate baseball, starting to come back, and I'm super excited to see that.
We'll also run you down the schedule for the rest of the day, just so you know. Coming up after this game at 6 p.m. in our feature game, the Liberal BJs take on the Derby Twins, and after that, we welcome the Seattle Studs back to the NBC World Series, where they will face the 3-1-6 Elite.
So pumped. Can't wait to get the rest of the day going.
As for us, that'll end this edition of the pregame show. We will join you about 20 minutes before the feature game, about 5:40, but check our social medias just so you know exactly when we're starting. As for us, thank you for joining us on this pregame show. Stick around and check for the next live stream, where you will be able to catch Cheney and Boulder coming at you now.